Right now, a college student is asking ChatGPT to help finish an essay due in an hour. At the exact same moment, on the opposite side of the world, a founder asks Claude to read a 200-page contract before a meeting. Neither of them knows it, but they are pushing two distinct software architectures to their absolute limits. We aren't here to crown a generic winner or tell you which AI is the smartest. Instead, we are going to stress test both of them to reveal which underlying architecture belongs in your specific workflow. Relying on the wrong AI for a critical task creates friction. You end up hitting invisible roadblocks, generating hidden errors, and wasting time on a mismatched tool. The rivalry between these two models comes down to a clash of architectural philosophies. ChatGPT is built for ecosystem breadth. It operates as an interconnected, high-speed network. Claude is built for contextual depth. Its architecture prioritizes sustained memory and structural integrity over long stretches of data. Treating a monthly subscription as a universal magic bullet leads to workflow breakdowns. Choosing the right model requires auditing your daily tasks to see if they demand isolated speed or sustained depth. Round 1 is writing. We're looking at how both models handle generating text from scratch. When Claude writes long-form content, like a blog post or a script, the output feels different. The sentences have natural pacing. The structure stays coherent well past the 10th paragraph, rather than falling apart as the document grows. To get this level of depth, Claude sacrifices raw speed and the ability to pivot through rapid iterations. ChatGPT takes the lead when you need 50 quick variations of a social media caption or a short pitch. The results are lightning fast and ready to use immediately. However, ChatGPT trades away human-like nuance. Longer outputs often feel machine-generated, lacking the varied rhythm found in Claude's writing. This round is a draw. The winner depends on the format. Long-form structural depth goes to Claude, while quick, versatile iteration goes to ChatGPT. Round 2 is research, a category where the underlying architecture becomes impossible to ignore. Consider the process of uploading a 200-page PDF into Claude. Claude maintains deep contextual understanding. It can synthesize massive amounts of info without losing the primary thread of the document. The trade-off is isolation. Claude operates strictly on the data you provide. It does not have live integration with a wider digital ecosystem. ChatGPT approaches research queries by looking outward. It pulls live web data and leverages a suite of connected tools simultaneously to find answers. Because its processing is so broad, ChatGPT struggles to maintain the same level of deep context on a single massive file as its competitor. The superior research tool depends on your environment. Synthesizing one massive static document goes to Claude, while scouring the live web goes to ChatGPT. Round 3 is coding, the ultimate stress test for technical performance. Both models generate high-quality code. In terms of raw logic, they are closer here than in any other category. Claude's advantage appears when you manage a sprawling, multi-file codebase. It is better at tracking the bigger picture, maintaining the logic between cross-file dependencies. Claude lacks an interconnected debugging ecosystem, however, which makes it harder to instantly test specific errors. ChatGPT is the better choice for debugging isolated, specific scripts. It delivers targeted fixes by utilizing its interconnected toolset to cycle through corrections quickly. The downside is that ChatGPT can lose the overarching architectural thread when applied to massive, complex software projects. Solo developers building small tools can use either, but managing complex software architecture requires Claude's sustained contextual memory. After 3 rounds, the score is a dead split across writing, research, and coding. They tie because these models are mirrors reflecting your specific daily needs. Founders, enterprise developers, and long-form writers find their results in the contextual depth of Claude. Marketers, solo developers, and rapid iterators get their results from the ecosystem breadth of ChatGPT. If the comparison stopped here, choosing between them would be a matter of personal preference. But the next 3 categories break this balance. In the upcoming rounds, one model pulls so far ahead that it changes the utility of the tool itself. The AI landscape shifted away from a race for raw intelligence. The focus moved toward workflow integration, how these tools fit into your day-to-day life. Our previous rounds for writing, research, and coding came back split. Neither model dominated because the results depended entirely on the specific requirements of the task. This brings us to reasoning. To test this, you have to look past pattern matching and ask hard, multi-layered questions that require the model to actually think through a problem. This chart shows both models reaching the state of parity. Because their reasoning capabilities are so close, success often has more to do with the specific phrasing of the prompt than a gap in the logic of the underlying engines. Raw logic has reached a plateau. As a result, choosing a tool based solely on which one is smarter is no longer a viable strategy. We need to evaluate these tools based on their design philosophy rather than their technical specifications. ChatGPT acts like a sprawling operating system. It is designed to be a comprehensive hub, loaded with peripheral features and integrations. Claude takes the opposite approach. It offers a minimalist, distraction-free environment that prioritizes the task immediately in front of you. A long feature list doesn't make a tool better for your specific workflow. The real goal is to identify which environment matches your habits, so you don't spend your day fighting against your own software. The sharpest divergence between these two models is in the images category. ChatGPT integrates native image generation directly into the chat. You don't have to switch windows to create a visual. This is useful for rapid concept art ideation, where you need to see a thought visualized instantly. It also handles immediate deliverables like thumbnails or layout prototypes without interrupting your conversation. This creates a seamless, all-in-one pipeline for anyone whose work relies on visual assets. However, relying on this system means your work will stay within the specific aesthetic constraints of OpenAI's generation models. Claude, by contrast, has no native visual generation tools. If you use Claude, you have to build an external pipeline for any visual work you need to complete. If your daily output involves visual deliverables, the integrated ecosystem in ChatGPT is a mandatory advantage. When it comes to being a daily driver, the productivity features are usually the deciding factor. ChatGPT is feature-heavy. It offers memory that persists across chats, custom GPT builders for specific tasks, and voice interactions. This matrix shows the trade-off involved in these systems. The first column tracks ChatGPT. You get high levels of automation and customization, but you have to manage a heavier, more cluttered interface that requires setup time. The second column represents Claude's blank slate philosophy. It is a frictionless, open-and-go interface designed for immediate execution. The choice is between an assistant that learns your preferences over time and one that provides a clean, focused experience every time you open the tab. Since there is no universal winner, we can use a framework to map these tools to specific types of work. This flowchart shows how to route these choices. First, the generalist, someone who needs a versatile assistant for a wide range of daily tasks. The generalist maps to ChatGPT. You gain versatility and a deep feature set, though you may occasionally have to edit text that sounds a bit robotic. Then there is the writer, the user who prioritizes natural-sounding prose and high-quality long-form content. The writer maps to Claude. This tool excels at human-like writing, even if it means giving up custom prompts and integrated imagery. Finally, the business profile. If you're processing massive, complex contracts or technical documents, Claude's focus on reading comprehension makes it the logical choice. Matching your primary output to the tool's specific strength is the only way to effectively eliminate workflow friction. For other groups, like students, either tool is sufficient. For developers, you'll need to test both, as the better choice depends on the specific shape of the code base you're working in. ChatGPT is the stronger all-around assistant. That position is a direct result of its memory, tool integrations, and broad ecosystem. Claude is built for two specific things: writing that sounds human and reading through long, complex material without losing the context. The real competition isn't between the names on the tab, but between the AI and your specific workflow. Determine what you do most and let that make the decision for you. Which one are you using right now? Tell me in the comments. And subscribe, because next week I'm testing a tool that changes the parameters of this comparison entirely.